Hello and welcome student. In last lecture we studied the first hormone auxin. So today's lecture is on the hormone second, gibberellins. As we know, auxins are growth promoter. Auxins helps to the plant to promote the growth of the plant. For example, auxins promote the cell division in plant. Auxin promote the cell elongation in the plant, and the key characteristic of the auxin is auxin maintain the apical dominance in the plant. So today's lecture is on the gibberellins. Gibberellins are included in the plant growth promoter. Why gibberellins are included in the class plant growth promoter? Because of the gibberellins are the hormone which helps to the plant to promote the growth of the plant. So gibberellins are included into the class plant growth promoter. And as we know, plant hormone classify into two classes. First is a plant growth promoter and second is a plant growth inhibitor. So this is about the gibberellins. Gibberellin included into the class plant growth promoter. There are more than 100 different form of the gibberellins. There are more than 100 different forms of the gibberellins found in the nature, and the naming is GA1, GA2, GA3, so on. And what is meant by GA? GA is known as gibberellic acid. So gibberellin is also known as gibberellic acid. And it is denoted by capital GA. So GA3, note that this is a very important point. GA3. GA3 is a important biological active part of the form of the gibberellic acid. GA3 is a biologically active form of the gibberellic acid which promote the growth of the plant and which is present in all types of the plant. So GA3 is the most important biological form of the gibberellin. So let's start the synthesis of the gibberellins. In previous lecture, we see the synthesis of the auxin. Auxins are synthesized in the tip of the shoot and tip of the roots. So gibberellins are synthesized in the root tip, developing seed, young leaves and the shoot tips. Suppose this is a plant. This is a plant, this is a shoot tip, this is a root tip, and these are the young leaves. Small leaves, these are the young leaves, and consider as a developing seed. This is a fruit and in which seed are present. So developing seed. the diagram show the different parts of the plant in which gibberellins are synthesized. Gibberellic acid are synthesized in shoot tip, gibberellic acid synthesized in young leaves, gibberellic acid synthesized in developing seed, gibberellic acid synthesized in root tips. So this is about the synthesis, but the abundant amount of the gibberellins found in the root tip and developing seed. Root tip and developing seed. These are the parts of the plant in which the amount of the gibberellins are found in abundant amount. So this is also very important point. The synthesis it takes place in shoot tip, young leaves, developing seed and root tips. But the abundant amount of the gibberellins are found in the developing seed and the root tip. So this is about the synthesis. So next topic is isolation. The isolation of the gibberellins takes place in the fungus. So gibberellin first isolated from the fungus Gibberella fugicori. In previous lecture we see the isolation of the auxin. As we know, auxin are first isolated from the urine of the person who suffer the disease pellagra. So gibberellins are firstly isolated from the fungus Gibberella fugicori. Gibberella fugicori. This is the genus of the fungus, and this is the species of the fungus Gibberella fugicori, and this is yellowish color. This is yellowish in color, and the isolation is done by the Japanese scientist Kurosawa. The isolation of the gibberellins is done by the Japanese scientist Kurosawa, and the isolation is from the fungus Gibberella fugicori. This is also important. The first isolation of the gibberellins is from the fungus Gibberella fugicori, and it is done by the Japanese scientist Kurosawa in 1926. He was observed rice plant when rice plant infected by the fungus fugicori, Gibberella fugicori. The plant show extensive stem elongation. Firstly, he was observed when rice plant infected by the fungus Gibberella fugicori. This is scientific name. So underline this word. Firstly, he observed when rice plant infected by the fungus Gibberella fusariae, the plant show extensive stem elongation, and this disease is known as Bakane disease. And it is also known as foolish seedling disease. So this is about the isolation. Firstly, it is isolated from the fungus Gibberella fusariae, and the isolation done by the Japanese scientist Kurosawa in 1926, when he observed when rice plant is also known as paddy crop, when rice plant infected by the fungus Gibberella fusariae, the plant show the extensive stem elongation due to the synthesis of the gibberellins. This is about the isolation of the gibberellins. So next point is the transportation. Next point is transportation. As we know, auxins are transported through the phloem. So gibberellins are transported through the vascular tissue. Next point is transport of the gibberellins. The gibberellins are transported through the vascular tissue. Transportation is done through the vascular tissue. Suppose the synthesis. Suppose we consider the synthesis of the gibberellins is in young leaves, and the gibberellins are synthesized in the young leaves, and this is transported into old leaves. It is transported to old leaves through the vascular tissue. This is about the transportation. The transportation takes place through the vascular tissue from synthesis part of the plant to the required part of the plant. For example, in young leaves, gibberellins are synthesized. In young leaves, the gibberellins are transported to other parts of the plant, for example, old leaf, through the vascular tissue. This is about the transportation. Gibberellins transported through the vascular tissue. This is important. Then next is the crystalline form. The crystalline form of the gibberellin is isolated by the scientist Yabuta and Shomiki. The actual crystalline form of the gibberellic acid is isolated by the scientists Yabuta and Shomiki. This is very important. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा आयसोलेशन कोणी शोधून काढलं? जापानीज सायंटिस्ट क्युरोसावा. and the crystalline form isolate केले फंगस मधून ते कोणी केले? याबुटा and शोमिकी ने. This is about the introduction about the gibberellins. Then next point is a physiological effect of the hormone gibberellins. So our next point is a physiological effect of the gibberellins. In previous lecture we also see the physiological effect of the auxin. So let's see the physiological effects of the hormone gibberellins. Gibberellins firstly helps to the break dormancy. What is meant by dormancy? Dormancy means seed do not germinate. Dormancy means seed do not germinate. But the hormone gibberellins break the dormancy in the cereal seed. So, first function, physiological effect of the gibberellins break the dormancy. म्हणजे आपल्याला एखादा सीड आहे ते जर्मिनेट करून आणून द्यायचं असेल तर त्यासाठी आपण काय करणार, त्यावर जिबरलिन्स स्प्रे केल्यानंतर ते सीड लवकर काय होतं, जर्मिनेट होतं. म्हणजे त्याच्यामधली जी काही डॉर्मन्सी पिरियड आहे तो नष्ट होऊन त्यामध्ये जर्मिनेशन चालू होतं. म्हणजे जर्मिनेशन म्हणजेच काय, शूट अँड रूट रॅडिकल्स तयार व्हायला सुरुवात होतात. दिस इज अबाउट दी ब्रेक डॉर्मन्सी. जिबरलिन्स हेल्प्स टू दी ब्रेक dormancy. Then second physiological effect, it promote the germination. So gibberellins काय करतो, जर्मिनेशन करायला मदत करतो. म्हणजे जेव्हा एखाद्या सीड मध्ये जिबरलिन्स तयार झाल्यानंतर ना ते सीड तसंच डॉर्मंट न राहता ते काय होतं, जर्मिनेट होतं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, दिस इज अ beans. So in which this is a dormant seed. Dormant seed म्हणजे यामध्ये कुठल्याही प्रकारचे काय होणार, शूट रॅडिकल्स, रूट रॅडिकल्स फॉर्म होणार नाहीये. पण ज्यावेळेस आपण त्याला जिबरलिन्स स्प्रेड करू किंवा जिबरलिनचा डोस देऊ त्यावेळेस ते काय होईल, त्यावेळेस त्याची डॉर्मन्सी ब्रेक होऊन ते काय होईल, जर्मिनेट व्हायला सुरुवात होईल. म्हणजे जसं त्याच्यापासून रूट रॅडिकल्स फॉर्म्स, शूट रॅडिकल्स फॉर्म्स व्हायला सुरुवात होते अँड रूट रॅडिकल्स फॉर्म व्हायला होईल आणि थोड्या दिवसात त्यापासून काय होईल, एक छोटंसं रोपटं तयार होईल. सो दिस इज सेकंड फिजियोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट. जिबरलिन्स प्रमोट दी germination in the seed. Then third physiological effect, it synthesis of the amylase. What is meant by amylase? Amylase is a hydrolytic enzyme. Amylase is hydrolytic enzyme. And it promote the synthesis of the sugar. What is meant by amylase? Amylase is a hydrolytic enzyme and it promote the synthesis or formation of sugar. So our third physiological effect is a gibberellins synthesis the amylase and amylase helps in the synthesis of the sugar. म्हणजे आपण जर एखादं फ्रूट कन्सिडर केलं, ग्रेप्स, these are the diagram of the grapes. जर ह्या ग्रेप्स मध्ये आपल्याला कसं पाहिजे ते गोड हवे असल्यास आपण जिबरलिन्स त्याला दिल्यानंतर ना काय होईल की त्यामध्ये जर जी काय अमायलेज आहे, पहिल्यांदा जी काय एन्झाइम हायड्रोलायटिक एन्झाइमची अमायलेजची जी काय अमाउंट आहे ती नॉर्मल पेक्षा जास्त होईल आणि जर जास्त अमायलेज फॉर्म झालं तर नक्कीच काय होईल, शुगर काय होईल, वाढेल. सो दिस इज अबाउट दी थर्ड फिजियोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट. एंड next is it promote the elongation of the internodes. Suppose this is a plant, sugarcane plant, and this is a node. म्हणजे जिथे कोंब फुटतो तो एरिया असतो नोड. दिस इज अ नोड. This is the diagram of sugarcane plant. हा तर यामध्ये नोड आणि हा एरिया आहे इंटरनोड. नोड कशाला म्हणायचं काय होतात, तयार होतात, त्या एरियाला आपण नोड म्हणतो. आणि दोन नोड मधलं जे काय अंतर असतं त्याला आपण इंटरनोड म्हणतो. म्हणजेच आपलं जिबरलिन जर स्प्रेड केलं तर कोणता एरिया इलॉंगेट होतो, इंटरनोड इलॉंगेट होतो. इट प्रमोट द इलॉंगेशन ऑफ द नोड. सपोज दिस इज applied Gibberellins. जिबरलिन्स दिल्यामुळे त्याच्यामध्ये काय झाले, जे काही दोन नोड आहे त्या दोन नोड मधली काय झाले, हाईट वाढली आहे. त्यामुळेच आपल्याला प्रोडक्शन पण काय होईल, जास्त होईल, जास्त तयार होईल. जे काही शुगर तयार होईल ह्या क्रॉप पासून ती पण काय होईल, त्याची पण अमाउंट काय होईल, इन्क्रीज होईल ड्यू टू दी spraying of the gibberellins. So gibberellins promote the elongation of the internode region. Then next point is it promote the bolting. What is mean by bolting? Bolting means it elongation. Bolting means elongation of the internode prior the flowering. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस प्लांट मध्ये फ्लॉवरिंग तयार होईल, सपोज दिस इज अ प्लांट आणि इथे काय होईल, फ्लॉवर तयार होणार आहे या नोड रिजनला. दिस इज वन नोड, दिस इज अनदर नोड. इथे फ्लॉवर फॉर्म होणार आहे. ठीक आहे. ते आधीच इथे काय होतं, इलॉंगेशन होतं इंटरनोडचं. त्या प्रोसेसला काय म्हणतो आपण, बोल्टिंग. बोल्टिंग इट इज अ increase of the internode or elongation of internode prior to flowering. And this process is known as a bolting. So gibberellin also promote the bolting. Bolting it is a elongation of internode prior to flowering. So next physiological effect is it causes the parthenocarpy. Gibberellin causes the parthenocarpy. What is mean by parthenocarpy? Fruit formed without the fertilization is known as parthenocarpy. So gibberellins are effectful for the seedless tomato. Effectful for the seed, making the seedless tomato, apple and grapes. आता पार्थिनोकार्पी कशाला म्हणायचं, पार्थिनोकार्पी मध्ये जी फळे विदाउट फर्टिलायझेशननी फॉर्म होतात त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, पार्थिनोकार्पी. अँड जिबरलिन्स जर आपण स्प्रेड केले तर काय होईल, सीडलेस. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल टोमॅटो प्लांटला आपण जिबरलिन्स दिलं त्या फुलला तर तिथे टोमॅटो कसे येतील, सीडलेस येतील. ऍपल पण आपण सीडलेस बनवू शकतो. अँड ग्रेप्स ऑल्सो आपण काय करू शकतो, बनवू शकतो seedless. So this is about the parthenocarpy. Gibberellins causes the parthenocarpy. And next physiological effect is it promote the fruit size. जर आपल्याला फ्रूटची साईज वाढवायची असेल तरी आपल्याला जिबरलिन्स काय करतो, मदत करतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल this is a grapes and this is grapes with spray with gibberellic acid, grapes without gibberellic acid. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस ग्रेप्स क्रॉपला आपण जर जिबरलिन्स दिलं तर त्या ग्रेपची साईज कशी होते, इन्क्रीज होते. साईज कशी म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअली त्याच्या फ्रूटची पण साईज इन्क्रीज होते आणि त्याच्यामध्ये जे काही नोड्स आणि इंटरनोड्स असतात त्यामध्ये पण इलॉंगेशन येतं. त्या सो दिस इज अबाउट दी फ्रूट साईज. फर्स्टली जिबरलिन्स break the dormancy, it promote germination, it synthesize amylase and indirectly amylase synthesize the sugar in the fruit. So gibberellins also promote the elongation of the internodes. It also promote the bolting. Bolting means elongation of the internodes prior to flowering. Then it causes parthenocarpy. म्हणजे आपल्याला सीडलेस फळं बनवायची असेल तर आपण जिबरलिन्स यूज करू शकतो. and also it promote the fruit size. जर आपल्याला फळांची साईज वाढवायची असेल तर आपण काय करू शकतो, जिबरलिन्स स्प्रे करू शकतो. then this is about the physiological effect of the gibberellins. then next is the application of the gibberellins. application. Firstly, to yield crop size and crop production. These are the application of the gibberellins. crop साइज. जर आपल्याला क्रॉप मध्ये फ्रूटची साईज वाढवायची असेल किंवा मग इंटरनल इलॉंगेशन वाढवायचं असेल तर जिबरलिन्स युजफुल होतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर शुगर केन घेतलं तर शुगर केनला जर जिबरलिन्स दिलं तर त्यामध्ये काय होईल, इंटरनल इलॉंगेशन वाढेल. म्हणजे नॉर्मल हाईट पेक्षा काय होईल, नॉर्मल हाईट पेक्षा थोडी जास्त हाईट तयार होईल किंवा जी काही शुगर केनची हाईट आहे नॉर्मल पेक्षा जास्त होईल आणि त्यामुळे आपल्याला क्रॉप म्हणजे यील्ड पण काय होईल, जास्त भेटेल. त्यानंतर मग क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल ग्रेप्स घेतले, ग्रेप्सला जर जिबरलिन्स आपण स्प्रेड केलं तर त्याची नॉर्मल साईज पेक्षा जास्त साईज होईल आणि त्याचं उत्पादन वाढेल. देन ऑल्सो इट इज हेल्पफुल in genetic dwarf plant. Gibberellin also helps to modify genetic dwarf plant into the tall height. म्हणजे जर जेनेटिकली डॉर्फ प्लांट असेल तर आपण त्यावर जिबरलिन स्प्रे करून त्याची नॉर्मल हाईट करू शकतो. म्हणजे जेनेटिकली डॉर्फ प्लांटला आपण नॉर्मली टॉल प्लांट करू शकतो. कसला, जिबरलिनचा application देऊ. So this is about the application. So today's lecture we study about the hormone gibberellins. Hormones are promote the growth of the plant and gibberellins are the plant hormone which is included in the plant growth promoter. And in this lecture we studied about the different form of the gibberellic acid and the main form, biological active form of the gibberellins is the Ga3 or gibberellic acid 3. We also see the synthesis of the gibberellic acid. As we know, the gibberellic acid synthesis in the root tip, shoot tip, developing seed and the young leaves. Then isolation. First, gibberellins are isolated from the fungus Gibberella fungicori and this isolation done by the Japanese scientists. And then we also see the transportation of the gibberellins through the vascular tissue. Then we see the crystalline form of the gibberellin is isolated from the fungus fungicori and this isolation is done by the scientists Yabuta and Shomeki. Then we see the physiological effect. The main physiological effect of the gibberellins, it promote the internode elongation. So and then we see the application. Gibberellins are useful to modify genetically dwarf plant to the normal height plant. So thank you very much to see my lecture. Thank you very much.